So in this video, I want to set up the stage for why you have not been able to sustain results in the past. And truly, it is not your fault. It is that you have been taught wrong. It is that diet culture, most fit pros, do not include what is so foundational in order for you to be able to sustain the results that you're getting. And so let me start off by explaining, kind of making sure that we're on the same page of there is the fitness industry, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry. So there is the product segment of things. There is, and I won't, I've named them in the first video, but there's all kinds of products or tools or whatever that promise you all of these amazing things. And so many of them are doctor approved or this, that, or the other. And the challenge is understanding that just about anything will work for some people some of the time, but not all things work for all people all of the time. And so it's important to understand that there is a base foundation of nutrition that works well for all people. However, this is where the kind of diet industry, the products, what have you, promise these quick fixes, quick results, without having a way to then integrate it into a lifestyle. Now, the core foundation of even great fitness programs, even like my peers who are amazing and, phenomenal, they're often missing this key element as well. And I'm going to share it with you in just a moment. Let me start by saying that I believe that great fitness programs have three things. They have fitness, nutrition, and support and accountability, right? So when you look at it, something like, a lot of times you have one or the other, right? You have the fitness down, maybe you love working out, but your nutrition's not on point. Or you have nutrition and you're trying all these things. There's a lot that you think you're doing right and you may not, or maybe you are, or maybe you're not. And then there's the support and the accountability is really what makes the difference. So for example, when I was focused on my brick and mortar fitness business, I took a huge leap of faith 13 years ago, following God's lead to help other women equip and empower them to have their own transformation. Left a corporate job north of six figures, started as a personal trainer making $15 an hour, then a boot camp at the park, and then was thankful for I opened a brick and mortar fitness business and helped thousands of people through that over the course of 10 years. And in that program, we had the fitness, we had nutrition, and we had the support and accountability. And it was great and it was amazing. And also, what God began to really reveal to me over the last couple of years is that even in that delivery, even with the best of intentions, it was still missing this one thing that truly made the results sustainable for me over the last 20 years and for a smaller population, I should say, of the clients that we helped, right? Thousands who chose to integrate this aspect as well. And so this is what I'm going to explain to you. So when I'm going to give you the analogy he gave me and God gave me, I think, and that is of what is in my culture kind of a traditional wedding cake. And I know we have people all over the world, so I'm going to try and give you a visual. But traditional wedding cake, you can think of also an Egyptian pyramid. I think that's a more common visual, right? It comes up in a like a triangle. However, with a traditional wedding cake, each layer, it's kind of like steps on the sides. Each layer comes in a little bit further. So the first layer is this is what's misunderstood. The first layer is strong, it's broad. It is the biggest base foundation, right? So the first layer may be this wide because it is the foundation that holds up everything else. So God gave me this analogy of this wedding cake because that first foundation is, trying to make sure that there's no glare, is our personal relationship with God. So that truly is the foundation, even when it comes to our health and fitness. It is our personal relationship with God, getting to know and understand His Word, obviously for every aspect of life, but also when it comes to health and fitness. And this is part of the challenge because this is not discussed in churches because weight is a difficult conversation to have in person because it is a byproduct of it is a visible byproduct of a struggle. Whereas so much of what we talk about in church, the byproduct of the struggle is invisible. So a pastor can have that conversation and people can kind of receive it and still feel safe, still feel kind of hidden, right, as they're taking in the message and managing out or letting God work out. But when it's a physical byproduct, like being overweight, you can be unhealthy and look super thin, by the way. However, when it is a physical manifestation like that, it's like calling somebody out. It's like the woman that was thrown in the middle of the crowd because of adultery, right? And all the negative feelings that we imagine she would have been feeling, the shame, the fear, all that, because the spotlight was on her, because everyone knew what she had done. And everyone but Jesus. Jesus was there for love. Jesus was there for support. Jesus was there to correct and make clear the error of her way, while also giving her grace, kindness, and love. And there's no way to do that and speak on this topic from the pulpit. The second reason is that I'll use the United States as an example, it has become common to be overweight. It is the norm. It has been normalized. We'll talk about this more in another video. So if it's common and if it's normalized, then it is very likely, with 73%, according to the last CDC report in the United States, people are overweight. 73% of people are overweight. It is very likely that a lot of pastors are also overweight. So again, hard for them to talk on. So we'll talk about it in another video. But then the second layer up is what is missing. And bear with me just a second. This second layer up is thoughts and beliefs. Now, God's word says, for as he thinks in his heart, so is he. There are so many, I'm trying to keep this video short, but there are so many scriptures that talk about the powers of our thoughts and our beliefs. And our thoughts and beliefs directly impact the choices that you're making when it comes to prioritizing your health, when it comes to your daily food choices, when it comes to whether or not you're turning to God versus turning to food. And so your thoughts and beliefs, we'll break it down into a different video too, because that's its own topic. But this is the critical missing element that allows personal relationship with God and your thoughts and beliefs. When you think about, let me give you a quick analogy. I usually have glasses on my desk is what I was looking for, but we all create a lens in which we see life through. It's unique to you and you alone. And this lens is how you see life, interpret the meaning that you give things. And it started from the time that you were really young. And so when that is impacted by the thoughts and the beliefs that you have created over time. Again, we're going to go into this in a little bit more detail, specifically in just a minute, but in a video below. But when those thoughts and those beliefs, just remember Victorian home. I'm going to talk to you about a Victorian home below. When those thoughts and beliefs don't serve us, that leads to those habits. So when you just try a diet and a workout, and maybe even you have accountability, maybe you have all three, maybe you have the fitness, the nutrition, and accountability, you can grin and bear it, you can grit and bear it and follow it just by pure will for a short period of time. But if your thoughts and beliefs that drive your habits, support your habits long-term aren't addressed, then the results are going to be short-lived. The next thing then on this cake in terms of level of importance for your overall health and well-being is nutrition. I know you can't see the words, but you can see it getting smaller, right? And nutrition is often mistaught, and so we'll talk about that too. But right now I just want to kind of lay this framework. So nutrition is absolutely important, often mistaught. We'll talk about it in another video. And then the next thing is workouts. So part of the paradigm is that there are components that are missing from what you've tried in the past. And the second piece of it is that diet culture and industry tries to flip this cake upside down when it comes to importance, right? Imagine this, what would happen if you took, now that you have this visual of this wedding cake, imagine what would happen if you flipped it upside down. Imagine what would happen if you tried to make the workouts the foundation and made that the most important thing. Imagine what happened if you tried to make nutrition the foundation and made that the most important thing. The whole thing would fall apart. So no wonder your results have not been sustainable in the past. Fair enough? Comment below. Let me know, get it, if you get it. If you're jiving with me, if this is making sense to you, comment got it below and move on to the next video. Love you guys.